What's up, Cowboys Nation? Strap in because we've got some breaking news that's going to shake up the depth chart and potentially alter the course of the Cowboys preseason and maybe even the regular season depending on how things shake out. As we dive into training camp with intensity building, the Cowboys just made two huge roster moves, one expected, one that caught a lot of fans off guard. First up, the Cowboys have officially signed running back Malik Davis back to the active roster. That's right, Davis is back in the building. He's no stranger to Cowboys fans, especially those who've been following the development squad and preseason over the last couple of years. At the same time, and this is the part that stings a little, offensive lineman Robert Jones has officially been placed on injured reserve, which will end his 2025 season before it ever really began. That's a tough blow, especially for a guy who came into the offseason looking to cement a role on this offensive line, potentially even carve out a key starting job or, at the very least, become one of the top swing linemen or insurance options behind younger players like Tyler Booker and the more established veterans on the line. Now, let's talk about what all this means and why it matters. First, Rob Jones. This dude is a grinder. He came over as a free agent after spending a few years with the Dolphins, where he really earned his stripes as a rotational lineman who could play both guard spots and bring a solid veteran presence. He's the kind of guy who doesn't get flashy headlines but is absolutely essential in the trenches, especially for a team trying to solidify an offensive line in front of a quarterback like Dak Prescott, who's looking to bounce back and silence the doubters once and for all this season. Losing Jones to a season-ending injury is rough not only because of what he could bring physically, but because of his experience and leadership. The Cowboys' O-line already has question marks, and now they're one injury away from potential chaos. Tyler Booker, the rookie who many believe could be the next big thing on the line, now faces even more pressure. He was already expected to compete for a starting role, but now the depth behind him just took a massive hit. So if he's not ready? If he gets dinged up? Now what? It's going to put a lot more eyes on the second string and third string offensive linemen, and it puts even more pressure on the coaching staff to figure out contingency plans. Meanwhile, Malik Davis coming back into the fold is both a relief and an opportunity. With all the injuries piling up in the running back room, Miles Sanders dealing with a lingering knee issue, rookie Jaden Blue picking up some bumps and bruises, and Deuce Vaughn slowly working his way back from a hamstring tweak, the Cowboys needed someone who knows the playbook, knows the system, and can step in without a huge learning curve. That's Malik Davis. He's been through this process before. Undrafted in 2022, Davis carved out a role during the preseason with some gritty, explosive runs, earning his way onto the roster and proving he could be relied upon in limited snaps. His stats don't jump off the page, but when you watch him play, he runs hard, he's decisive, and he has just enough burst to hit the second level. Plus, he's a solid blocker, something the Cowboys are absolutely going to need in these upcoming preseason games where protecting the quarterback is priority number one. And let's be real, this signing is also a major opportunity for Davis personally. He's bounced between the practice squad and the active roster. He's been waived, re-signed, and now finds himself with a legitimate shot to crack the 53-man roster if he can produce in preseason action. He doesn't have to learn the scheme. He doesn't have to prove he belongs in terms of attitude or locker room presence. All he has to do is show up in pads, run hard, pick up blitzes, and maybe make a splash play or two in the passing game. That's it. And given the current state of the RB room, that might just be enough to stick. Now, let's zoom out and look at the bigger picture for the Cowboys heading into this crucial stretch of training camp and preseason. The offense, as we all know, is undergoing something of an identity evolution. There's pressure on Dak to deliver, pressure on Mike McCarthy's offensive staff to find balance, and huge expectations placed on younger players like CeeDee Lamb, Jake Ferguson, and even rookies to contribute immediately. But it all starts up front. If the offensive line isn't right, none of the skill position talent matters. That's what makes the Rob Jones injury more than just a headline. It's a foundational issue. Can the line hold up over 17 games? Are the Cowboys going to be forced into a position where they have to either trust young, unproven players or bring in outside help via trade or free agency? On the flip side, Davis's signing represents a smart, flexible move that gives the Cowboys insurance while also rewarding a guy who's earned his stripes in the organization. He's not just a camp body, he's got real potential to step up if the injury bug continues to bite. And fans should be excited about that because Davis has shown flashes. Go back and watch his preseason tape from his rookie year. He runs with purpose. He's got that underdog mentality, that chip on the shoulder mindset that you need in a depth back. And with so many RBs unavailable or limited right now, Davis is going to get real reps in the preseason. Not garbage time snaps, real, meaningful reps where he can show that he belongs. That means more opportunity for highlights, more chances to make a statement, and more likelihood that he not only makes the team but actually carves out a role during the regular season. The timing couldn't be better either. Preseason games are coming fast. The first one is right around the corner, and the coaches are going to want to limit the exposure for guys like Tony Pollard and Miles Sanders even if they're healthy. So Davis is going to get carries. The fans are going to see him in action. And let's not forget preseason stars often turn into regular season contributors. That's how it works in the NFL. You show up when the lights are on, even in preseason, and you give the staff no choice but to keep you. Davis has that shot. But while Davis may be one of the feel-good stories of this week, the Jones injury is going to linger. The Cowboys are going to have to monitor that offensive line closely. Don't be surprised if we see them bring in a veteran lineman over the next couple of weeks. Somebody who can plug in, learn quickly, and serve as an emergency option if more injuries strike. You need at least 8 dependable linemen on a game day roster. Right now, the Cowboys are flirting with disaster if anyone else goes down. So keep an eye on roster moves in the trenches. As always, the battle in the preseason isn't just for the spotlight players. It's for the bottom 10-15 roster spots. Guys like Malik Davis are fighting not only for a job, but for their football lives. And guys like Rob Jones, veterans who are now dealing with a season-ending injury, serve as a reminder of just how brutal and unpredictable this sport can be. One day you're in the mix, the next day you're on IR. So every rep counts, every snap is meaningful, and every roster spot is a war. That's why moves like today's matter more than just the headline. They speak to the depth, the strategy, the risk management of an NFL team trying to build not just a top-heavy roster, but a complete one. For the Cowboys, 2025 is a statement year. The clock is ticking on this core group. The NFC is wide open. There are no excuses. Every injury, every return, every practice squad elevation, it all plays into the bigger chess match. So while today's news might seem small in the grand scheme of things, it's actually a ripple that could become a wave depending on how the next few weeks unfold. Malik Davis has his shot. Rob Jones will now have to watch from the sidelines. And the Cowboys? They march on one move at a time, one practice at a time, chasing something bigger. So what do you think, Cowboys Nation? Can Malik Davis seize the moment? Will the Cowboys survive without Rob Jones in the trenches? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, smash that like button if you're riding with Dallas this year, subscribe for all the latest updates, and I'll catch you in the next video as we break down the preseason matchups, highlight camp battles, and follow every step on this road